Welcome to the show.
Yeah.
What's happening, everybody? Welcome to the Art Dealers episode 1. It's your resident black Spider-Man, Linda. Welcome to the Art Dealers. Let me introduce you to my co-host. To my right, you got
Going down.
Oh my
God. How you guys doing?
What's your name, bro?
I don't have a name, bro. I'm
nameless. I'm
like XXXTentacion. You have to understand me first. You have to understand
extension code.
You have to open your mind.
Open your mind. Well, XXX to who's the guy next to you?
This is for the ladies. Shout out to Amy, bro. This is Daniel over here. Shout out. Say something, bro.
Say something.
Daniel, tall, white and handsome. That's what I have to say.
Nice.
It's not false, guys.
You weren't going to say it, so I was
Get out of here.
Who's the next guy?
It's good. I'm Jordy. No, that's about it.
Jordan the Bell.
That's it. Jordan the Bell, bro. Instagram. Shout out.
That's Mr. I Can Treat Her Better. Not
Well, yeah, guys, if you haven't picked up, we recently did a review on the pop album, as it says on iTunes. So it's the XXXTentacion. So I'll 100% say this: that last album, 17, was utter garbage.
It's trash.
False.
Every
Lies.
single song. Every single song was
You guys are
rubbish.
uncultured.
Sounds like everybody.
Absolute rubbish. Absolute rubbish.
Uncultured.
Just like everybody, but absolute garbage. Absolute garbage. But anyway, this album, when Sad came out, when we put it on the group to listen to it, I liked it. I liked it a lot. I think the beat is really cool. Daniel made a good point that there's only one verse. Which is
Damn it.
pretty trash.
It's like a snippet.
Yeah, it's literally a snippet. As a whole, let me just get this out of the way before I move on to you guys. As a whole, I thought it was an okay album. But I'll end it there before I go back on my review. What do you guys think?
It's weak. I'm honestly in pain. I love X so much. I genuinely would go to a concert if he pulled through to Africa. But
In the basement.
Now I have to listen to this.
the moment he starts screaming,
No,
Yeah.
I'm like, please. I mean, he had a track with Joey. It shows his potential, really. It shows what he could be. And I'm excited for his future.
Joey was snapping on it.
He was.
Yes.
But
It shows what he could be, and then he decides to just like be this like inverted commas woke pretentious like sad boy. I just don't get it, dude. The album was horrible. That's just how it is.
Personally, it doesn't make any sense because in the opening track, or whatever it's called, but the name is like, guys, open your mind to my genius. And then there's no genius to it. This is 18 songs of completely...
It's
SoundCloud.
long. It is very long. 18
Yeah,
tracks.
but each song is 2 minutes. Who does that?
That's the thing. It's literally like B-roll Logic songs. Like that's all it sounds like to me.
Listen here, guys. To all the listeners out there, these guys are uncultured. They don't understand art. This is artistic SoundCloud masterpiece. You can't.
SoundCloud and masterpiece do not go in the same sentence.
Come on, guys. For me, I thought it was not bad. I think the introduction it was kind of corny.
Tell me why. Tell me why with a good reason.
No, because you could tell he was like chilling on his bed and like he was. It's like a voice note to his homeboy. But that's artistic. But then it started getting better a little bit. I mean, the best track, might be one of the tracks of the year, Moonlight.
Oh, that is a track.
Hey, man.
I don't know why. I didn't feel that song.
I like the track.
It's like nothing I'd heard before.
I feel like I prefer the cheesier SoundCloud stuff that he does. Because for some reason, in my opinion, I think like SoundCloud rappers always have like sick melodies.
yeah.
So like something like that $$1 song or whatever. I was like, that's cool
Shout out to
melody.
Matt Ox. This guy like 12 years old.
But also, he produced that.
I'm sure he did.
Yeah.
Alone Part 3 was also a track.
Do you like that song?
I like that song.
Slash with the PNB Rock.
Yeah,
I like PNB Rock a lot.
I didn't mind it.
I like him a lot.
I think Sad for me is the best track.
Yeah.
One of like literally 2 out of 18.
Okay, let's go track by track then. Introduction, I'm sure everyone gives it a 0.
Yeah, that was a 0.
Go into the Lord.
Alone part 3.
I'll give it a 5. 5, 6 maybe.
I'll give it a 5. 5.
4.
I'll give it a 2.
A 2.
I'm with Panashe.
Simmer down.
I'm with Panashe. That's a 2.
Okay, Moonlight.
I'll give that a
Should we go
7.
in order? Yeah.
Yeah, we'll go around.
Moonlight, man. I'm gonna give it 8.
I'll give it a 7.
I'll give it a 6.
6.5.
Sad. I like the song a lot.
Yeah, that sounds like an 8 or a 9.
Yeah.
I'll give it a 7.
In the ratio of the quality of the album.
Yeah.
Outside of the album, this is like a 5.
In the context of the album, I'll give it an 8. I love the song.
I'll give it like an 8 as well.
Same. 8.
Yeah, so
Bro, I give it a 9. I'm a sad boy. That's my anthem right there. That's my anthem right there.
Remedy for Broken Hearts. I will give that I'll give that a solid 4.
we're really gonna go
To be
through every
honest-
single song.
Oh, we'll go through the ones that
I don't even remember it, so I'm giving
Yeah, I don't remember, so I'm giving it like a 2.
I don't remember it. I listened to the album from start to finish, like, I say almost 3 times. I don't remember that song.
I don't even remember this track name, to be honest.
That's the thing.
I listened to the album and I think I can remember the song, like, if I had to really think about it.
That's the
I
thing.
don't remember this track name.
Like, it's so hard to give an album a good rating when, like, how do you remember songs that are 1.5 minutes long?
It came out on Friday.
Yeah, but still, how do you remember songs that are like 1.5 minutes long? Like, there's no there's no like context to it.
African time, damn it.
What was
Hey,
it?
what was that?
Black people.
Hey, but introduce yourself to the
Introduce
people.
yourself.
I'm Jabulani, and that's me.
Just talking about the album of the year.
Wow.
XXXTentacion.Chord.
Detection. Okay, so this flow. What do you think about Dream Loop, by the way?
Jeremy, guys, I genuinely don't even remember it.
Exactly. Therefore, it's a bad song. Therefore, it's a bad song.
Okay. So we just flow 555. Absolute garbage.
That's the track.
Absolute
That's when the screaming starts, hey.
Absolute garbage. 17, his last album, sounded exactly like this song. And I hated that album. So
But
I hate this song and I'll give it 0.
I think
Like that is 0.
these fans like that type
hate
of stuff.
They do like it.
Yeah.
But I hate it. It's just me.
I hate it too.
Because when I heard it, I was like, it sounds like someone's in a tin can. I was like, this is just trash.
Yo, can we quickly comment on I don't even speak Spanish law? Because that is a Pitbull special right there. That is all that is.
It's so disjointed. It's out of nowhere.
It doesn't make sense.
It's the worldwide.
But I'm saying people will love that track. Like you read comments like, oh my gosh, bro, that track is
Because
fire.
they want us to be like, oh, you don't understand his genius. And there's no genius
Bruh.
there.
If Mr. Worldwide pulled through with that song, dude, you know people would be like, this is rubbish, dude.
But you know that was in the studio.
In the suit.
In the scene, bro.
He's always in a suit.
But there's no tie. It's just buttoned down into like the chest. Mr. Worldwide.
Shut up, bro.
I think he's sweet.
But he's always partying.
Always partying, bro. What was that one music video? Like, you can bring your girlfriend.
I know you're on me.
Yes, that music video was vulgar.
Usually, the only song I remember by him was that Kodak video that he was sponsored by Kodak.
It's sponsored by a dying company,
That's
bro.
when you know, dude, Kodak.
Those checks.
I don't know. There's the same one about Mr. Worldwide or about Kodak when you're reaching out to Mr. Worldwide for an assistant.
There was a stretch where he was like super popular.
Yeah.
No, but wasn't there like when he started rapping, or like his initial like gain into like the world of rap, he was like a hardcore. Like,
Yeah.
he used to be hardcore. Like he was in it. He was in the game.
Rapping.
Hardcore, you mean like speed rap?
Yeah, gangster rap.
like rap.
Like serious stuff.
I mean, what he does, dude. Nah.
Yeah.
He's like Jesus right there.
I think when like electric music like blew up, he started jumping on that. He jumped on that.
But also, like, I feel like he just took an opportunity to have money for the rest of his life. You can't,
I
like,
don't knock him for that.
yeah, man, like,
I'm thinking he probably did one electronic track and like it was fire. He was like, then you continue. It's like Flow Rider.
This is me.
it's the typical thing. Like, there's that one white guy in the class that like He's trying to relate to all the dudes like, oh, bro, he doesn't flow right.
Alright.
It's like, no.
But he started out fine, you know, he reached that track low. Remember that
Oh,
track?
sick, dude.
That one back in grade 2,
No,
boy.
no.
Why did you say that? You were 8. Why did you say that in grade 2?
No, remember Step Up? It was on Step Up, bro. Like, we're going crazy.
We step up and...
Okay, I don't
Step
know.
up was 2008. Step up 2,
Wow.
2008.
Yes,
Dude, but like these guys are old then, dude.
Dude, that was...
They must have started before we were
They must
born.
have been 30 and they're trying to act like teenagers.
My word, dude.
Alright, so back to this.
Are we really gonna go track for track?
Nah, we're not going track for track.
Easy, and let's say your 2 best tracks and your 2 worst. So I'll do my worst ones. Well, I don't even want to say the name of it, it's just garbage.
We all know that.
And then I'll say the introduction. I think that was completely unnecessary.
No, but does that count as a track?
Yeah. Well, it's not a musical track.
Okay,
But to me,
so,
it's just a joke. You can't say, like, open the genius of your mind
It's a preface,
for the
bro.
genius of this thing,
Sure,
and then
yeah.
whip out a SoundCloud special.
If you were buying, it would probably be on sale.
because there's no
From the get-go.
there's no other track
Instant.
that I really hate besides Floor 555.
They're all just.
I don't hate it as much as.
Okay, I'd say my two songs are Infinity and that, like, $triple $sign
Yeah.
soundtrack. Just because of the
Your 2
melody.
favorites.
Yeah, 2 favorites.
Nah, do you mind?
I agree with you.
I think it's Moonlight and Alone Part 3. It's good tracks.
Thanks.
The rest are tin can music, bro.
Can I choose 3, dude?
Yeah, go.
Was Alone Part 3, Moonlight, and then, what is it, 888 with Joey, dude?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, mine.
Yeah, you know why it's good? Because Joey's on the track.
Yeah,
Exactly why.
Joey did really well.
So,
Yeah.
Ace pulled through with
Yeah,
the
yeah.
triplet flow that we.
But that introduction to the track was kind of shaky. That's one, yeah, I'm gonna catch this.
All these 2
All these EZZs, so the world won't have no more diseases.
Damn, deep thoughts, bro. But anyways, my favorite track was Moonlight. I listened to that track like the whole day yesterday. And my worst track, I have to say 555. Yeah. I'm not into Slipknot, so yeah.
Yes, that song was horrendous.
Infinity and Sad, guys, I've been bumping Sad.
Yes, that's
Like,
great.
it's made every playlist. I wish there was another verse, but that's my anthem right now. Everything else is trash. It's garbage.
Damn, everything.
This whole album, I give it a 2 out of 10 because there's 2 songs I listen to.
Ooh, balls.
That means 2 out of 18.
2 out of 18. 2 out of 18. So yeah, just what's our final first take, final review
Out of 10.
out of 10?
Give
Give us a
it's
fantastic score. 3. Jesus.
I'll give it a solid 1.5.
Yes!
Deal with
Jody,
Joey wasting time.
why don't you like this album?
Dude, like with Sad, Moonlight, and Alone Part 3, I like that, what he's doing. But then the rest is like with what Floor, 555.
Yeah.
It's like it's off what the other tracks are doing, dude. Like the album's everywhere.
There's no continuity.
Yeah, there's very little fluidity to the
And like
album.
in the album, I think there has to be a direction. Stick to that direction.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like you can't have that intro track and talk like about opening your mind to the genius of the album, and then say this was the goal of the album 7 times, and then whip out like, lol, I don't even speak Spanish, and all the screaming stuff. Like you're not really being that much of a genius. Like
That's like you can.
He's 20.
You can clearly see a SoundCloud background.
Oh,
yeah.
You can clearly see it.
So the 808's like all the way up.
Yeah, man. I'm gonna have to give this one a 6. 6, you know, because these
What
guys
did you
don't
give
understand.
Bobby Tarantino 2 last week?
These uncultured
You guys
swines.
don't understand. I'm about as cultured as he is.
You guys don't understand. This is Frank Ocean level. I'm just kidding, guys. I'm gonna give it a 6 because man, there's some nice tracks on it. It's just like Flow 555, and now I don't really like that. But everything else is not bad.
yes, that scared me. I was like, yo, what's going on?
Where is
Shit?
that coming from?
Big shout out.
He gave him a bad rating.
I thought it was a dude saying get out, get out, get out. I was like, whoa.
So yeah, I think when I think about this album, it just feels like it's so disjointed. Like there's no like real theme to this album.
Yeah.
Like if he was gonna go for this whole like overly pretentious woke thing,
Yeah, then do the
please
whole
carry it
thing.
through.
Make
Like
it songs.
make it a concept. Like we know you're not being serious. Like just continue it and it'll be fine. If all the songs were like sad or like Infinity or whatever, then that would have been cool. This is a dope album. But then when you have like floor 555 and then you go to like some song with guitars and all this kind of stuff. Makes no sense to me. So I will comfortably give this a 4 out of 10. So I did not like this album at all. Like I said, there were songs that I really liked, but majority of it I didn't like that much. Yeah. But, and Dan, what do you say?
I agree with you. 4.
Yeah. And so we had a bit of an off-mic discussion before all of this started, and this guy is saying, in fact, what do you think his general influences on culture nowadays? Because he has a massive fan base, we can agree on that.
Talk about X.
Yes, yeah. He has a huge fan base. Like you see, he's like constant.
Yeah, it's like a cult following.
Massive. But yeah, what do you think his impact is on this generation specifically?
But the thing is, you have to look at it from this point. Basically, a lot of people have big followings and the music.
Yeah.
Like Taylor Swift has a much bigger following, but she's not gonna like.
No, but at least Taylor Swift, like the music, people connect with it because of heartbreak. But then, like you get like
she writes it.
but like you do, like you get someone like Lil Pump.
Yeah.
His music, you're like, dude, what's going on? But then, but you check his, dude, like his followers, dude, it's insane.
Yeah.
Like, I can't really say that with someone you could say like, generations to come, people still be talking about him. Like right now with our generation, we like following hype.
Yeah.
And he's hyped up right now, so people will follow.
Yeah.
And I mean, at the end of the day, people are buying his stuff, which means people are liking his stuff. Personally, my point, he has no impact.
Yeah, like I think purely like his SoundCloud influence sound. Like we were talking about like what do you think the future of rap is? Like I think that there's not enough depth, like musical depth to, I mean as like shallow as like some like pop music is. There's not enough like musical depth to this like type of sound for him to like really change the world through his music. He'd have to just get his following and then like flipping start like a cult with just like speeches and stuff like that. I'd say.
I feel like he's got his following because one of his main topics is death. Death and suicide, and he makes tons of songs on that, and lots of people can
relate to them.
Yeah, but
it's almost like
I kind of feel it's a cop out.
But also it's also like it's kind of like it's like hip to be like, yo, I want to kill myself.
Because I really, me personally, like I understand like the general topics that he raps about and stuff, but for me personally, I'm just like listening to this like feeling better about themselves afterwards. Like, it's like I can totally relate because this guy's just yelling in the mic. Like I understand his general persona and like his music videos and just his general vibe is very like suicide and all this and all that. But like I just don't understand how people listen to this and like Cuddy for example. Cuddy I understand like his earlier stuff it was all like depression and that kind of stuff and I can be like I'll listen to it and be like I can totally relate to this guy. That's Cuddy for me makes sense. But then this I don't think he's a quote unquote Cuddy of his generation. He's the X of his generation.
But I think in terms of the music, like Kid Cudi had a huge following, and now if you look at like high school children, they really follow these guys and think, man, these guys are amazing. Like there were people even say, I'll never listen to Biggie and Pop, they were boring and all these things, but then they'll go to like Little Pump and
Little Zan.
they'll go to like
Mastermind.
and they'll say like, nah, this is music right here. So like they have a cult following. I don't know if they would last. Like we will see in like 3 years time, like two or 3 years time, we'll see if these guys are still here.
No, that's the thing. Like I don't think there's enough musical depth for this sound to stay prevalent. Like I think because of the shallowness of like the sound, it's just a phase. Like this whole trap hip hop phase, it's eventually just gonna phase out and something new is gonna happen in hip hop.
Dude, pop's been surviving off 3/4 for 100 years. I think the man will last. But also, John Mayer hit up his Instagram live and he was like, when you're writing, you find the people who connect with your work and you write for them. That's it. And I think his last album, obviously, a ton of people appreciated it, even though it was trash. And he stuck with his sound and he stuck with his message, and there's a consistency to that. So
that's true.
He's got his market.
That's true. Like I said, I appreciate him. He's I don't say. I guess he's authentic. Like he doesn't seem like he's trying to fake and be like this.
There's not many people he could like leech off, like to be like super unoriginal. So,
but to an extent, I feel like he is kind of unique, and he's not. I don't know if you can say pioneering that type of genre. But there are other rappers that like try and imitate his whole sad boy and like very depressed suicide vibes. But he does it the best out of all of them, and I feel like he's pushing it further.
Yeah,
that's a good point. But do you think in general, like, I just want to hop on that question that Jordy said, or that point Jordy made about the whole like trap. Do you think this whole subgenre of trap music, like the 808s, are like as loud as they can be, or do you think trap in general, like Migos, Yachty, and those guys, do you think that has longevity? As
I don't think so, because like there's a difference between that and the pop music that's been prevalent for like so many years. Because this is only coming now. Unless like I get proved wrong, I don't think that it's gonna be of like the next 20 years. Like,
yeah.
But I genuinely think it will, because if you check Gucci and them, they started trap long ago.
Ages ago. And
when they said I'm not rapping, this is trap music. Like what we talk about is trapping, and it's been about 10 years now. And I think it can go for some time. Beats will change definitely, but it'll still be trap. It just sound different.
Yeah.
I don't think it'll ever die.
I think it'll always be around.
Yeah, but hip hop has gone through like phases. Like it's sort of like boom bap rap, then gangster rap, and then I think Kanye West started with like his whole different type of
sampling.
That's why like everything has an influence from the thing before it, but like not like as raw trap it is now. I don't think that's gonna stay like that.
I don't think it's gonna start like a whole new movement of hip hop, because you can say, because you can say.
I feel like that in itself is already like a subculture. Because
I mean,
like, there's a difference between like what Kendrick does
Yeah.
and like stuff compared to what he does, and that's just a subculture like within
That's the
rap.
thing, like, because you can, like Tim said, you can point to where Kanye started like soul sampling, and be like, that created a whole genre of hip hop, which in a sense led to guys like Kendrick and Cole, and just the way sampling is specific. I'm not saying they are direct influences or whatever. You can say Cudi influenced 808s with 808s and heartbreaks, and like look how everyone uses 808s now.
Yeah.
And like Migos with that specific trap flow. I'm not saying they're the pioneers, obviously Gucci and T.I. all those guys did it way before. But like, is it going to be like this whole new subgenre of like emo trap or
like the person who's pioneering that is Lil Uzi. That whole punk rock, trap, sad boy vibes. No one will get better than him in doing that. Like he's killing it.
Yeah.
The fact that I look at his image, I'm like, whoa, it's a bit too much. But then you listen to his music, like, I could rock with this.
Yeah.
So like 100%, this guy will be in Uzi's shadow. Like globally, I think everyone knows Uzi more than they know X.
But I also think like it's just another phase like mumble rap, because we did go through the Soldier Boy.
And we made it up.
Yeah.
We made it all alive.
And it's gone now.
Yeah.
Like so, maybe this is also like just like another phase.
But it's not gone though. Like when they drop those tracks in the club, bro, people
people still go
their
wild,
minds, dude.
I don't think the difference is. Soulja Boy was like in the forefront. He was on the charts. He was moving. X isn't. X is moving in his own sort of wave, and he's created his own pocket in the whole SoundCloud scene, and I think that's what will survive.
Because also like there's more people. Like I feel like because social media is so huge and SoundCloud is so huge and YouTube's so huge now. Like even if you're not making the charts, there's probably a lot of artists that aren't even on the charts, but are still getting as many like monthly listeners as like guys that were on the charts like 15 years ago.
Yeah.
Purely just because there's so many people on Spotify, so many people on like SoundCloud and stuff like that.
What do you think about like streams versus like sales? Do you think streams have are more visible, accurate? Because like I was looking at this guy's story. It's like 10K followers. He released an album, and then he showed on Spotify he had 435,000 streams in like a few days. Like so, do you still see sales as very important or like,
not as important?
Pocket wise, it's very important.
Yeah, it's really important.
I think sales isn't as so like back in the day, it used to determine how good an album was. It was by album sales. Like if you sold like this week, like enough this week. If your first week, everyone like record labels would tell you if you made like 250 first week, that's a good album. And then you had like 25,000 in your next album. Apparently, that's a bad album. I think streams is a more accurate depiction of the way fans listen to music.
Yeah.
And the way your fans specifically engage with your music. Like especially nowadays when no one is really buying music, streaming has become more accessible and it's a lot easier. Like you don't have to go to a store or go onto iTunes or whatever. Like you have Apple Music or Spotify where you can just find a song, quickly listen to it. If you listen to it like 10 times a day, I think because you're a fan, I think that's more accurate representation of your fan base.
Because I'd say with streams is also like if you compare it to your sales, if your streams are way higher than your sales, you could say that amount of people have listened to my music not necessarily it's all my fans. It could be like you say, hey, Jabs, go listen to X. I'll be like, I listen to half a track. It's not my vibe. And then I'm like, hey, bruh, you like this type of music? Have you heard this guy? And then just spread the word. And then a whole bunch of people listen to it. Not necessarily saying they're his fans, but they just listen to it.
Yeah.
So I'd say in terms of popularity, streams is a very good way to be like, yeah, he's more popular than that guy. But sales-wise, like, who made more money at the end of the day.
Yeah, and also sales, I've noticed it can show like whether or not the person's gonna stay. Because like you see J. Cole, he sells 1 million. Drake, he sold like he went platinum for God's Plan. And like when you look at Little Bolt, I saw his. Just thinking, man. When you see Little Bolt, he's gonna sell like 30,000 for his Little Bolt 2. I mean Little Yachty, he's gonna sell like 20,000 for the album. So like it's also a great way to show like who's really gonna stay and who has a real following.
He's trash on record.
It's not like he's trash, like in total he's trash. But he has some songs like his beats, whoever's producing for him, that guy, big up to him because he's doing a good job.
But I also kind of like the new one because like he doesn't use too much auto-tune. Like it's more approachable.
We all know the rapper right now who kills all the tunes, Travis Scott.
It's a fact. He's the new HDMX, bro.
T-Pain.
Yeah,
T-Pain kills all the tune, dude.
He made auto-tune like 100%.
I had no respect for T-Pain until he did that Tiny Desk concerts and he could actually sing.
He can actually sing.
And I felt so bad because all my life I've thrown nothing but shade at T-Pain and the man has a genuine voice. He sings
like his voice is
like
genuine. So
I mean, I never expected he was a guy that just sucked at singing, but like, there was obviously a reason why he had like auto-tune all the time.
I mean,
I was thinking bad.
He was even making jokes. He was like, "Oh no, guys, don't worry, I've got my auto-tune in my pockets." And he starts singing, and he's got this crisp gospel voice, and it just moves, and it's like, "Yo."
I was just so nervous of that. I was like, "It's gonna be hot garbage."
Where was
Tiny Desk and NPR.
Oh, snap.
Yeah.
like 100% if you sad and he sang for you, you will cry. You will cry.
I'll listen to it.
So, Joey, you brought up a really good point. I think it links quite well to this. Because obviously you were talking about how the effect of like SoundCloud and these easy platforms, YouTube, SoundCloud, whatever, it is to get your music out there. Do you think, what's the effects in general of like how easy it is to create music? Do you think there's a good or bad effect, like in terms of the way you get music out there? Is oversaturation a good or a bad thing? Especially considering like how easy it is to make music.
I genuinely think it's a good thing because let's say you are a doctor and then you play on your laptop, fill in with beats, and you like actually enjoy making music. And now you're like, in fact, let me go full time making music. I actually enjoy what I'm doing. And now it's like you can get an app. You're able to produce. Not like back then you have to go to a studio, pay like $500 per hour or something like that. Learn how to play or produce or whatever, and then you can say I'm a producer. Now, if you think about it, you can literally go do it. So I think
also
it's
teach yourself.
You can literally. I personally think it's an awesome thing because you could like you could be a CEO, but you know how to produce music.
Yeah, and also like to think of Steve Lacy, like he made a beat for Damn on like Kendrick Lamar's album off his iPhone. So that was like it's very easy to make beats and make money off it.
But the thing is, because it's so easy, the people that are the best at it are even more respected. Because the market's so saturated, you're not going to get noticed as easy as you would if you were like really good. If you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's because you can.
It's like YouTube. There's like millions and millions and millions of YouTube accounts, but you can only name like 10 off the top of your head that have got more than like 5 million subscribers.
Yeah. I think there's obviously like good and bad. I think the good part is that like you don't have to be like intimidated to try and like get your music out there, because like there's so much music that like if people don't dig your music, you just delete your account, start a new one, and then reload the song, like re-upload the song, and everyone's like, oh, this sounds cool now, like different person, different alias or whatever. But also I think like it just kind of allows more people that like aren't good, like technically, to like create like one banger song, and then like just they get a following, and then even if the rest of their stuff sucks, like just purely because they have a following, like
I think it's like
they get known.
Yeah,
those guys get lost.
Yeah,
that's true.
I think like me, I was going to do a job. I do think it's a good thing because like when I was growing up, like I'm like fairly competent at playing instruments, but like not to the point where I will call myself a musician. Like I won't like just tell people I play guitar or whatever. Like I know my way around it, but like not at a fairly advanced level. But then like when I was younger, like it's, I don't know, like we'll say like grade 8, grade 9, when free loops kind of made a comeback. Like free loops been around for a long time, but like started to make a comeback. Everyone was like making like beats and stuff. Like me and my friends, we just felt like the coolest guys ever. Like, dude, we're like producers. Like, like that's how our beats.
You record like one piano progression, you're like, producer.
And then we'll make like an electric beat. It's like it starts with the drums, and then the bass hits, and then it's the normal progressions. And so we thought, from that perspective, I think it's cool that you get like guys who probably, I mean, to put a bit more, but who can't necessarily afford like actual equipment, can't necessarily afford to buy a really expensive guitar that they want, or like keyboard or whatever. They can make it on the computer and be just as, I don't say just as good, but they can actually make like a really good beat or really good like rhythm melody on the computer. So like young kids can like live out their dreams of being like musicians, and it may not ever take them somewhere, but then they can actually say like, I know what I'm doing. I can actually like make music, that type of thing, and then maybe it can progress to something more. But as far as an effect, I do think that to a degree it is quite bad, especially like as hip hop fans. We listen to a lot of hip hop, and we can comfortably say there's a lot of bad hip hop out there. And it's probably because like these guys are like, it's so accessible. You can just put the music out there. Someone will hear it and be like, oh, someone will like this on the radio. Let's get it, and then throw it out there, and then we're stuck with it.
Because don't you think then at the same time, like if everyone can create music, it just creates more bad music.
No, you know the thing is,
and it pushes more like bad music.
But it also makes the good music better because there's competition.
Can't say anything against that.
No, like, I think everyone's a creator. Everyone needs some sort of creative outlet, and I think this just lets people do that. I mean, the major problem for me comes in when people are exploiting our genre to make some dollars. I'm talking Rice Gum dropping diss tracks, Logan Paul and J. Paul doing all the things.
See, that's the thing. Like, the oversaturation of music allows for that to happen. Like,
I mean, yeah, but I was
every day, bro.
Nick, as Kiss, I came out of retirement and saved the Simon because of fake beef and diss tracks. But because our genre is becoming pop culture, how do you think that affects the quality of our music? Not just the oversaturation, but because we are pop culture.
I think then it becomes more like mainstream pop, so that they make more money. Because like everyone that's like, I don't know, like 10 to 16, like majority of them are like just like pop, Ariana Grande, like mainstream bangers. So the more pop influence rap gets, the more money they want to make. So the more they're gonna take like the roots of rap away and move it towards like four-chord pop progressions, and the more generic it gets, and the more just straight structured it gets.
It's all about the money now.
From a producer perspective, the trap formula is quite simple. I make our intro clips and
shout out.
I'm genuinely not very talented, but it's just too easy. Like I could be out here selling beats that I made in 30 minutes.
And then hit the group chat.
Like if you think about it, that's why Migos with Culture 2 were able to have 24 tracks on the album. Because it's easy. Like, you know, okay, it's a month. I got beats already. 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes.
Get in
that's
the
freestyle, we done.
That's the thing, like you can almost hear that sometimes that it just sounds like that it didn't take a long time to make it. Like you listen to flipping like Good Kid, Mad City, and you're like, oh, this got depth. This is art. Even like a song like what's that? Sing About Me. Like it's so bare bones, but so is most trap now. But you know there's depth behind it because you could hear like. The dude's rapping for like half an hour. You know and it's not like just rubbish, like there's depth to it. And that's the thing, like I feel like the more trap influenced, the more like simple, because everyone likes spaciness, and trap offers that with just like tons of like subdivision hi-hats.
Like that track, Superstars on Migos album, like you could tell that track was like made in 5 minutes. Because you can feel like the beats are very Atlanta, but like you can't compare it to someone like ATL Aliens.
You know what hurts me the most? I listen to a wide variety of music, and then all the hip hop artists dropping a project a year, all my indie bands, I'm waiting 2-3 years from
Yeah.
now. Like, what's going on? Because these guys will be on tour. You're not even making your own beats. Some guy's sending through a hard drive with like 200 beats on it, and you can pick what you want. You could be dropping an album every month if you wanted to.
Yeah.
No, but like with music, it's different. Like with indie, it might take long. House is quick. Like these guys can produce music quickly, but doesn't mean it's not art. Because literally most of the house producers know how to play instruments.
Yeah.
So yes, they can produce the album. Like I don't know if you guys know At Jazz.
Yeah.
But like last year he was dropping an EP every month, 9 tracks.
Because also like house producers and stuff, they have creative control over what they kind of want to write. Whereas like if you like, I don't know how well versed Bigos are in their respective instruments. So like to say they have like entire creative control over
You can never take away credit from producers.
Yeah,
because
yeah.
I mean, musically they're there, but our favorite rappers probably don't even know what a key is.
Yeah.
How to be in it,
my favorite
and the
rapper-
auto-tune is doing all the things.
Well, my favorite rapper is Travis Scott right now.
Yeah,
But he knows how to play the piano.
I know he does, but
Yeah.
he's a producer as well. That's
Yes.
the thing. I'm
That's-
telling you now.
That's why I respect him.
When you sit with auto-tune, the worse you sing, the sound it gets, the better it sounds.
Hey, bro.
Like,
You must drop that on Beagle's album.
you
bro. Don't take it,
reach for these notes you can't aspire to, and it sounds amazing. You're like, yeah!
That would achieve
Yeah.
something amazing.
Nah, but the thing, you also check, like, the fact that with auto-tune you don't know how to sing, but then you sound good on auto-tune,
Yeah.
but you're creative.
How does autotune
No, but you can't sing bad when you have auto-tune. You can sing, but you have to hit in a similar range. You can't be like.
and then expect it to be like a C, yeah.
You kind of have
You,
a decent-ish voice.
you
I
slide the modulation too fast, you pick your key, and it'll hit the closest correct note.
Yeah.
So you reach as high as you want, and it'll pick the correct note, and you obviously it'll be the same every time. So you'll know how it's like an instrument. You'll know how to use it.
Yeah.
But
Travis
So what is like
Genuinely.
autotune? Like is it like an interface, like a plug-in type thing?
It
It
is
is.
now. Like it used to when it first started. It used to be like it's so weird. I didn't watch like.
But someone literally like
it
sit there and just
used to
correct
be
it.
like pitch
It
correction.
used to be a pitch
Yeah.
correction.
But,
So you
yeah.
would like you would sing. Like now, when people do it, it's just because like it's cool and it's retro. Like you
Yeah.
would sing and then you play the key at the same time. Then whatever you're singing in and whatever your key you're pressing, that's the key you would play. But then now it's like it's a post thing. Like you'll do your vocals normally, and
Yeah.
they'll add the effect.
Yeah.
Of it.
Yeah.
That's why you can do it
So
live.
it's
So
like,
easy.
it's like an app.
It's like an app,
Yeah.
basically. Yeah.
You just sing,
You
put it
use
through
it.
that.
I'm
Yeah.
telling you now, the worse you sing, the better it sounds.
How do you think?
Especially because the whole point of autotune, like now, is because
Yeah.
people want to hear that, like that.
You wanna
rise.
hear that
You
slide.
want to hear that autotune slide. So
Yeah.
like the worse you sing, the more slides you get, and people are like, boys.
That's why Travis Scott sounds fire because you know you can't sing in real life.
Trevor, sing Happy Birthday.
The phone out.
Like literally, that guy rips. Like with auto-tune, what he's doing is amazing. He makes it sound great.
It's a masterpiece.
Like he makes it sound very artistic, even though it's not. Like when he's like, oh, straight up, it sounds literally. You can't. Every Travis Scott fan waits for a track just to hear, yeah. Literally, be like, oh,
That's
Yeah, it's lit.
straight
All
up.
right.
Straight up.
Straight up.
Literally, when you hear that, you're like, bro, you killed the track.
So like, when we went to Travis last year, when everyone heard that for the first time, must have just been like,
Dude, literally,
like,
nah, he was using auto-tune.
Yeah.
Live, his live performance, he uses auto-tune.
how was it? Was it sick?
It was intense, bro.
I got the chance tickets, by the way.
Same.
Yeah, Dan, I bought chance tickets.
I'll see you guys cancel, so that
We tried that.
You going? Who's buying?
I'm not a big fan.
I also I can't
Dude,
stand.
I don't listen to. I don't like
I can't-
one song. Cocoa Butter Kisses.
I legit cannot stand him.
Why not?
I can't stand him. He's literally like a white girl rapper to me. All that like, I'm just like, bruh, you literally sound like you're choking all the time.
I'm just mad that we went from acid rap to
Yeah,
acid. Jesus Christ, my daughter, I'm trying to get my ex back.
When people love Colin Book, I noticed like this was like their track.
So
People
I
was like,
literally
oh,
just,
listen to Bob Chance the Rapper, guys.
yeah, that's like saying like, can I even say names?
No,
of
you
these?
can't say names on your.
No.
We don't have the bleeping app.
We don't have the viewing app.
can't bleep anything.
Whatever. Anyways, I don't even like Chance, but I thought like Golden Circle tickets were like $600.
Yeah.
Like that's pretty cheap for Golden Circle. So
Yeah.
I was like,
Well,
Good for the vibe, dude.
That's
That's gonna be cool.
yeah, also like I'm assuming,
Cool.
I'm assuming, also like international act, I'm just gonna go. It's like,
Yeah.
I'm sure you'll pull through with a solid performance, and also they always have mad drummers that do wild ass drum solos.
literally
So, like,
the
I'm
best
keen.
live drama I've heard was with Bryson Tiller, bro.
Oh, his
Like,
band is amazing. His
Dude, that
band is
guy's drama
amazing.
was
Yeah.
so good, bro. Like literally, he played Don't. You'd swear this is the proper song, bro.
Boy,
Yes.
Dude, he was literally proper.
I felt bad for him though, because like you could tell everyone in Golden Circle
Was
they
waiting
were
for
for
Travis
Travis.
Scott.
They weren't there for
Bryce.
Bryce.
That's when you have like two like headliners basically, and then someone has to perform for another one.
Yeah.
I'm literally
Everyone-
addicted to Bryson Tiller, and I have been ever since flipping.
Even Trap Soul, bro.
Trap Soul.
So it's the
Nah,
greatest
like-
debut ever.
How do you release
the
a
greatest
debut?
debut? Yeah.
I still listen to that album like
100%.
at least once every 2
The
weeks.
thing about it is,
You think
it's
about
a note
that.
to self. Is that?
I know that. That is when I first listened to it, I was like, it's like melodically more stripped down than
Yeah.
Trap Soul. But now I listen to that thing, I'm like 11 now.
Because I listened to Something
Nine.
Tells Me before as a single, and I was like, I literally can't wait for this album because I love that song. And then I listened to it like front to back, and I was like, yeah. And then it's warmed up on me now.
You
like,
got
now,
it, dude. You got
now
it.
I love it.
Boy,
Because even like Run Me Dry, I listen to that song like at least twice in a week. I only picked up on the vocalist of actual lyrics like later on.
No,
But it's so
100%.
good. It's so good.
Like, that what's his name?
So dirty ass track, dude.
What's his name again?
Bryson.
Yes.
Even Bryson.
Tyson Bryson,
I wanna say
Tyson
Tyson.
Briller.
Like he's very sexual,
Yes.
but no one gets worse than The Weeknd.
oh my
The
God.
Weekend is
No, man,
my
the Weeknd is so
nigga.
much worse.
People.
He used to be so much worse.
I don't understand how,
You disguised it so well.
but like white girls,
It's not
innocent
even
white girls.
disguised.
Are like I love the song, and he's literally
It's your
singing about
face.
like taking kgs of just cook, like
Dude,
And the kids are
Chris
you.
Brown.
can't feel my face, bro.
One of
Everyone
Nick-
was like jamming that
And I
song.
won a Nickelodeon award, bro.
Did he?
Yeah.
Yeah, confident.
He won a T-Choice Award.
Yeah.
That sounds like cocaine, people.
that dude's a ledge.
And like, I feel it coming with that. That's such a
That
smooth
is
song.
so-
Like, you listen
and
to
it's
it,
just
you
dope.
listen to the
It's
lyrics.
dope.
Like that's
Listen to
It's
it.
a modern day Michael, bro.
dude. Like that's the problem with his voice. You listen to his voice, you're like, oh, so sweet.
Michael
Yeah.
Jackson.
You don't even listen to the words.
You don't care, yeah.
Like I feel it coming, and like, wait, what do you feel coming?
Wait a minute,
And
pause.
then you start listening to what he's saying, like, whoa, I sang that to my mom. And then you're like, bro, chill out.
Radio,
Genuinely.
in traffic.
Have listened to The Weeknd since he dropped his like first EP. That's when I got it, and I'm telling you now, the man changed my life. I went from I'm a good kid and I love Jesus to I'm gonna eat you out.
And this guy used to be so much worse.
Dude,
Just go before PB.
But you hear his thing, he's freestyle on, what's it called?
Rambo.
Yeah, on Rambo. Like, it was flipping good for a
Yeah.
guy who can sing that well.
When you have a voice, you can say whatever you want.
Yeah,
Chris
like-
Brown dropped a track the other day and he's like, talk to the dick.
Yeah, dude. What are you gonna do? Like, don't talk to us. Weird.
But then he sings to you.
And he's
It's
like,
amazing.
It was like Frank Ocean with A$AP Rocky on that track, what's it called?
Rap.
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 yeah.
I didn't know
Believe that was a rap.
He was
I
dropping
like-
some fireballs.
I was like, wow.
I didn't know it was him.
But his voice got so deep.
Yeah.
Jump these
I
niggas.
thought it was someone new, like
Yeah.
like it's a Nest or something like that, 12 or something like that. This guy told me this Frank Ocean, I was like,
I was like,
and then he starts singing towards the end. I was like, oh, he's back.
he's back. Oh,
He's
thank
back.
you. Thank you.
So the Weeknd's apparently he's releasing an album this year. I'm excited for it. After, what do you think of Starboy?
100% I love it. I'm a fanboy.
Nah, I'm a fan. I'm a stan. I'm not a fan. I'm a
I thought it
stan.
was better than Beady Minds. I was not a fan of that album.
Nah, dude, come on.
The Hills, bruh.
My man, that was a good album, bro.
No. As a project, no. It had good singles. Amazing
No,
singles.
come on.
Yeah.
This guy.
I'm excited for this album because Starboy is 6. The whole of Starboy is really, really cool.
Literally, this guy's been scoring 8s for me the whole time. Scoring
Distinctions.
8 out of 10.
No, out of 7, bro. Come on.
The immaculate rating system. 1 to 7. What is your idea? There's no 50-50 because you can't be 50-50 on an album. You can't be.
You have to commit.
You have to commit to 3 or 4. You gotta be somewhere. You can't be in the middle.
Yeah, like you check star ratings out of 5.
No.
You can't be 2.5.
You can't.
Oh,
Yeah.
But I feel like every album that you don't love is like just immediately a 3.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
That's how it is.
Yeah,
And then like then because your rating system gets so weak, any album that's a 5 just doesn't carry the same impact. Because you're like, well, now that album's a 3. This one's got to be more than a 5. But you limited yourself.
I hate rating albums like more than an 8 to myself because then I'm like saying it's as good as like Wicked Mad City.
It's as good as it can get. Also,
I'm like Section 80 or anything, so I'm like, no way, Steve.
Whenever Kendrick releases, I'm always like, good Kid, Mad City.
Yeah,
Is it
to me,
no, I don't think so.
Good Kid, Mad City is the best album I've ever listened to in my entire life.
For me,
For me personally, that's a personal thing though. I'm not saying it is the best album, but for me, that is the best musical, like every genre, that is the best album I've ever listened to.
for me, it was To Prima Butterfly. I think.
Dude, like,
So for some reason I connect more. Like it's not like I have a struggle in my life, but I connect so well with Good Kid, Mad
It's
City.
not like an everyday album to do about that. Like, you
Yeah.
have to be in the right
Yeah, it has to be depressed.
It didn't have replay value. It had a great message at the time, and politically it was like on
I was-
point.
I was to say it doesn't have replay value.
Yeah.
I was listening to that album when I was heartbroken.
Some of those tracks are banging.
Because when it came out, no, these wolf guys. But when it came out, like, I listened to Western Theory and I
I wait, story, I was in the car with my girl. And that song came on with the babe, bro, with the babe. And that song came on and I was just waiting because she's innocent, bro. And literally the first 40 seconds is just like, and I was just like, oh, this is so bad. I felt bad.
The other day I was driving with my mom and listening to Mac Miller, and at the end of
Wow,
the
that
day,
is how? How do you
also, you're a bad child for doing that.
so my mom's on a call, she's doing work things, she's got her earphones in, I'm jamming to Mac. In the end of stay, there's a proper sex scene. There's just a girl moaning for at least 40 seconds. It's intense.
Why did you say
And it came out, I'm like looking for my phone because it's an aux cable. You can't just change things.
Like, you should have pulled it out from the.
Where are you?
What happened? Did you mom
She
here?
didn't, but
Yes. I don't.
What?
I can't listen to rap in that car, bro. My parents were pastors if I do that.
When I was like 11 and 12, when I wanted to get rap, I literally had to I had to either torrent it and get it on my phone because I couldn't buy it on iTunes or something like that. And then I remember I was way too afraid. Like when Logic released his first album, I was like, I think I was probably like 13. How old was I? 14. I was like probably 14. Like 14 or 15. Like I still was kind of like I still didn't really want my parents to think like I'm listening to rap. And I was literally like I bought it on iTunes and I was just like. I was like stressing until like my parents would walk in my room and be like, "What are you listening to?" But I don't think my parents cared, to be honest.
Nah, my parents don't care. You can't tell someone that you can't listen to this music unless they're listening to like Slipknot. As a parent, I'd be like, no, you can't listen to that.
As my child, I'd be like giving me that Spotify.
It's like a suppression of your freedom of speech, dude.
my parents just don't want me around R&B niggas. They're like,
No, like with
I think
R&B.
R&B's judged. R&B can get a bit too saucy though. R&B can get a little saucy.
Yeah, like with that track with The Weeknd, where he's like, I'm effing you, but I'm thinking about her. And I was driving, I was playing with my mom, and then she's like, it's like, what's going on? I literally told her, I'm like, I don't know, you can change. But I like the beat.
Yeah.
I like the beat.
I still get super uncomfortable when like rappers or singers talk about sex on the track.
Yeah.
Like how they're gonna do this shit. I'm like, I don't want to hear about this shit. Like I understand it's your whole like vibe, and it's still uncomfortable. And I
Look
never,
at me.
I don't think my parents know all the music I listen to. I just
Mine
listen,
don't.
I just play house music when I'm my dad.
Yeah,
Oh, I
I just play like straight like alt indie, just so that my parents think like that's all I listen to, like just instrument music,
Nah,
and not like.
with me, I also have to play house with them to show them I'm still black inside.
I love house music.
Now, 100% house in the car is the best thing.
Like, my mom is like old school R&B, so like at least we connected, so it's cool. But
Yes, bro, old school R&B was just on another musical level. Listening to like flipping, what's the dude's name? Bobby Brown. That's it. Just like that flipping like that rhythm intro into just like wet melodies. Just like soak me in your waters, please. It is so beautiful.
Calm down.
Nah, bro, but you must go listen to Keith Sweat.
He says,
Yo, my man, if you're feeling wet.
Oh goodness.
wow.
No, I was referring to when you said
Musically wet.
Yes.
You can't save this.
Musically saturated and moist.
It's just sweet.
always name's Keith Sweat, bro.
Hey, bro. I mean, he's very sexual.
Yeah,
I mean, he's very sexual.
No, we've listened to like D'Angelo, like The Roots, where it's all like the bass lines are incredible, and it's all like live
instrumentation.
Instruments. Erica Badu, all the kind of stuff.
Same, bro.
Amazing.
Absolutely incredible.
Amazing.
Absolutely incredible.
Kind of miss all of that. Once again, it kind of goes back to our whole conversation about it being too easy. I think the music like that.
Because that's the thing, like,
Yeah.
easy music isn't, like, it's easy to make music that's easy to make, you know what I'm saying? Like, it sounds lame, but like, it's easy to make a trap beat because you got FL Studios and you're just literally clicking things.
Yeah.
But it's not easy to get behind the bass and just funk for an entire, like, 14-track album,
Yeah.
like, and groove and be tight with the drummer and be, like, tight with an entire band, because that's not the easy part of making music. That's like the professional side of, like, you have mastered your instrument.
What do you think of R&B now, though?
I love it, bro. I love R&B now. 10 out of 10 for R&B now.
I
love it.
But like, I think,
Fires, bro, he's killing it.
yeah, but
Yes,
I think
Fires,
that's the thing.
brilliant.
I think there's still like subgenres of R&B where you get like Chris Brown R&B,
Yeah.
which is more poppy,
Yeah.
which is probably like that kind of stuff is made like on FL or whatever. But then you get guys like Sonda, Brett Fighters, who's like all live. And all
You
that
get,
kind
like,
But
of
literally with him, he's like
Those
literally
levels to this
he's literally
boy,
old
these
school
levels.
in 2018, 2017.
stuff. This is
You literally
The
rocks
Toronto
that.
scene is coming strong as well. There's level to this
Dude, Daniel
boys.
Caesar's changing the game.
100%.
He's changing the game.
But I mean, like, his voice, before I saw what he looked like, his
Man,
voice, I was
actually-
like, this guy must be a god. Like, this guy,
Amongst
he sounds sexy. I'm pretty sure he looks sexy. He saw a picture, I'm like, whoa. Let's calm down a bit. Let's calm down.
Simmer down.
Kind of all the gifts.
Yeah, no, I do. I love R&B. What about you?
Yeah, Scissor, man.
Absolutely
I
incredible.
can't even relate to the music because I think it's for like women.
Yeah.
And like, you know.
Well, it makes sense.
I mean,
It's in here now. We'll talk about it off air.
Sister got me treating the girlfriend right, and she doesn't exist.
You know what line
You got you cheating on this. You got her cheating on you.
yeah, exactly. Like, are you cheating on me? No. This is a song.
the line
Sister
that
got
she
me
cheats-
loyal to a girl that doesn't exist, bro.
If your girlfriend cheats on you while listening to SZA, she's allowed to.
if you hear your girlfriend listening to The Weeknd, then you know something is going on in the camera.
100%.
If you're not smashing and she's listening to the weekend,
You know, smack
But the line that killed me, like in the first track, when she's like, let me tell you a secret. I've been secretly banging your
boy,
If your girl says that to you, I'm gonna kill myself.
No, she won't even
It's
start.
like,
She just
why
gonna
not?
play the song and just look at you the whole time.
Yeah, voice notes.
Yeah, voice notes.
Give you a low quality version. It makes so convincing.
While I'm driving, you hear the indicator in the background.
I'm pretty sure that guy heard the track and then he just heard, it's like, she's rich now, she's popping on every platform. She was sleeping with my best man.
But I'm thinking her friends, they probably called her after they listened to the first time, like, so are we still cool or anything? We're talking about my man is your man. It's my man. The chorus of the decade. My man is my man is your man. No, you can't do that to me.
Yeah, can't do that. Oh, that was dope. But on this with those type of bands and like talking about how easy or hard it is to make. I don't mind when like a band or a specific artist of mine takes like 2 or 3 years to release, because then I know it's gonna be good.
Yeah.
Like with Kendrick, I can wait. Okay, I can't make that one, but like I'll wait 2 maybe 3 years for a Kendrick album because I know there's gonna be so much attention to this. Yeah, and like my most anticipated album of the year is The Internet with Sid in them. Like I love Ego Death and I love the previous.
And it's been a long time.
It's been a long time.
And I think like most men, like Sid released like 2 projects, and then Matt Marsh and Steve Lacy also. Steve Lacy is one of the most talented people I've ever seen in my life. You know, he couldn't tour because he was in high school. Like they released the
Yes, that is awesome.
finals. He wasn't.
That's awesome,
He couldn't tour the album. That's why I was like, when Ego Death came out, and I saw everyone else was on tour, like on Instagram, but Steve wasn't there. And then I saw his TED talk, and he was like saying I couldn't tour because I was in high school. I was doing the finals. I was like, damn.
That's a nice flex.
That's a nice flex.
That's a nice flex on.
Yeah, that's probably.
And it's like 19.
I think it's nice. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's nice.
So I'm really excited for that. But on that, what are your anticipated albums of the year? Boys.
Isn't Schoolboy releasing this? Yeah, I'm really keen
As
on
soon as
that.
that comes out,
Because I thought Blank Face was like 6 out of 10.
Yeah, it was mediocre.
Yeah.
Did you like
See, that's the thing.
The thing is, I loved the album.
I liked it, but it's just like, I don't know. Like, I feel like
no respect.
I love that album so much.
The reason why I love it because old school boy,
Mm.
I love him. So whatever he releases, I love it.
You know what I need? I need another track like Bliss.
all time best. Like, and collard greens
Yeah.
are just out of this
Collard
world.
greens is
Out of this world.
Wow.
It's out of this
Dude,
world.
but never change. The song was
You know, you see, there's
oh my gosh.
there's like some. It's an incredible album.
Yeah.
It's
It's not
just
bad
like,
song, yeah.
Yeah.
like that's the thing. Like I wouldn't give XXXTentacion the 6 out of 10. The 6 out of 10 when Schoolboy is.
But 6
like,
out of 10
at the
sounds
same
like
time.
it's a bad rating, but it's not.
It is.
Yeah,
That's-
no, but that's the
yeah,
thing.
yeah.
That's the thing. Like I gave Tentacion a 3, but Blackface isn't only 2 times better than that album. It's 1,000 times better than that album.
Yeah.
But there's a different rating you have for a dude that just creates little tiny trap beats, and a guy that's like amongst like Absol and like
Yeah, bro.
and people like that all the time.
TDE,
And like on TDE, like
Yeah.
massive difference.
Well, speaking of TDE, Azai Rashad is not on the tour. He's
No,
going on over
yeah,
there.
Is he
yeah,
still-
yeah.
No, he's
Is he
deep into
still
league.
facing?
that guy's fully bent over into league. Like,
Simmer down.
I read, so like, did you hear on that, what was it, the Sun's Tirade? I think it's the first like track or whatever. There's like that voice note or whatever from Day Free, and he's saying you better shape up something. So apparently that was a real voice note because he was about to get kicked off TDE like a couple times because he went on tour with Schoolboy and then he got addicted to like lean and cocaine and that kind of stuff on the tour.
You can't come back from
You
school.
can't go on
if
tour
you
with Schoolboy and
alive.
expect to be normal again. Like, at least Schoolboy makes it work. Like his lifestyle kind of
I
suits
feel like
him.
Schoolboy doesn't even drink lean.
Yeah,
Schoolboy is like the bad friend. He's like, nah, I didn't study.
And you'll still pass when you fail.
And he still gets 80s.
You get actually getting 10. It's like, oh, I thought we were together on this one.
I never told him to listen to. I never told him to listen to.
Yeah.
I don't blame Schoolboy. I bet it's just like the people are like around, like you go to clubs and stuff. So Isaiah, like apparently he's still like addicted to that stuff, and he's been like suspended from TDE. So he's not kicked off. Like he's still on the
Because
label.
he's so
Literally, he must go to rehab. Like,
He does.
his album. His
that album is that album is incredible.
Yeah,
It's incredible.
Pusha T, King Pusha.
it's taking forever. Dude.
Yeah.
It's taking
This
forever.
year it has to pull through. And Travis Scott, Astro World.
That's
My
your
man,
man.
trust me,
That's your
that
man.
is-
Turn
That's already a 10 out of 10.
100%, dude. Like with Travis Scott, you expecting a ballad. Like, that's all he does.
You know, on this podcast,
6 out of 7.
we are full of equality and all that. So for all my gay listeners, Frank Ocean,
Is he releasing this year?
I think he's gonna release this year. And need some cultured art right here, man.
Did you like Blonde?
I feel like Frank Ocean's gotten himself into such a position that he could release like 16 tracks of just silence, and people
Yeah.
would be like, "Yeah, this kid is so woke, like he's just genius."
It's genius. Nah, it's cool because like I don't think we'll ever get like Channel Orange Frank again. Which is fine. Like I think that was a cool phase like in music that we had, and I think Blonde is not necessarily my particular favorite, but I think it's the album that he wanted to release, which I really appreciate. Like he probably took like what 6 years or something, 4 years to release it.
That
Or
was a long
whatever.
time.
And it's cool. He's releasing like a lot of cool singles lately. So if it's as good as this kind of stuff, if he starts rapping up on rap, I'll be happy.
On another album, J. Cole.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, well, I mean, it's been 2 years, so I'm assuming he's gonna in December, like 10 days before. Hey, guys, my album coming.
Yeah.
No features.
It's always in December.
No features.
Cardi B.
Cardi B.
And we're still waiting for Black Friday.
Cardi B's nah.
There's an entire
I'm still waiting,
generation.
bro. I'm still waiting. I don't know about you.
What do you mean it's dirty?
If I just hear her voice, I get irritated.
There's an entire generation of young white girls who will exclusively only date black guys because of Cardi B.
100%, bro.
Case in point, someone you all know. That's what I'm saying, man.
Man, we don't bring up names of
How many names?
Okay.
Becky with the good hair. Becky with the good hair.
Shout out, bro. Shout out.
We're gonna have to bleep that one.
You have to beat that up, dude.
We need to download an app now.
Yeah, man, that was the Art Dealers episode 1 done and dusted. Thanks so much for listening. Can't wait till you guys hear the next one. We're signing out. We are the Art Dealers. Peace.